Hello everyone. So in the last video, what we did in the last class and in the last video, we just demonstrated how to complete the login page. Okay, and we showed you how to create a database in the Server Explorer. Okay, and in the Server Explorer, what was the file? I think it was, I created my Amjad here and I had two only tables we created. One is called students. Okay, and these are the one, and then one called student because users. Now just generally just to make the login page work, we created the user tables with ID and password only, and here we have all those thing here on the students, because the main part which we have to do is this one. So once we successfully log in, it goes to the next page where they will give me an option about adding student detail, removing student details, okay, retrieve student details, just those basic things actually. Okay, so after this login, and we showed you how to complete this if you have watched the previous video, so you can, I'm sure that like you have managed to um, successfully log in, for example. And once I double click on this, what I showed you in the last class, double click on the submit, and we showed you how to write the code. And if I just explain the code here, that we got the connection string of the database here. Okay, and then what we're doing, we're searching, um, we're selecting star, meaning I'm telling them to search from the user table where ID is equal to, this is the brown is the one which is the table from or field from the database. So I'm saying that field in the database ID is equal to which ID? This ID, the one which you got from the text box. And the table password is equal to password. Which password? You got it from the text box. Text box meaning this is your, you get the ID from here, and this is get the password from here. So I'm saying okay, search for that. And then what happens is once you search, I'm telling that okay, get me the fill the data in this data table and count the number of rows. If the count number of rows is more than 0, that means if the result comes up, that means what, like the ID and password, okay, was there in the database and is correct. So we'll say um, login successful, and else invalid successful. Now what happened, we're going to make a change here. Okay, we'll show them login successful, and after that we will send them to the new form. Okay, we'll send them here to the new form where we will okay, have a privilege of adding student, removing student, watching student, and all those things. So we'll send them here. Okay, so before we do, let's come to, this is already done. What we do, let's make a form, guys. Okay, so we'll, according to the assignment, we're going to make a 3 form. So on this one, okay, on this project, so come to the project, right click, let's create a new form. And how to create a new form is this way. On the project, okay, remember, not on the solution, on the project, come and say add, and then say new items. Now when you say new items, they'll say what do you want to add it. Basically we want to add forms. Okay, so click on the form and let's give a name to the form, guys. So let's say for example the main form is, if it's the main form, like after form 1, this is form 1, so after login, this should also have a good name, but anyhow we forgot to give a name, so I don't want to change. Now things can, um, if it makes an error, then your whole hard work is going to go in vain. So we can change it, right? Like, we can change the name here on the form, right click, and we can make it as login form. Okay, so anyway, we just click on the form, adding a new form, and let's say I'm calling as main underscore form. Okay, so main form meaning the main menu, actually the way the main is coming. So I'm just writing main underscore. Note the point, I'm putting a underscore, I'm not giving a space here. Okay, don't give a space here, or give any name, whatever name you want to give to the form. Okay, it's up to you, give any name whatever you want. So add it, we got this form here. Okay, now here what I want to do is, like, say for example, let's say I'm going to put a label first. So you come to toolbox. If you don't see the toolbox, go to view and click on toolbars. No, what is that? Toolbox, right? So it should be somewhere here, toolbox, and this will appear. Now in the toolbox, I'm going to take out the labels. Okay, so let's bring a label here, and then once you put this label, come on the right hand side and click on the font, and let's say font, make it as 20, to make it bigger, look good. And in the text box, make it as, let's say you'll say as student management system, or any label you want it. Okay, you don't have to put my label. So then and always do single click wherever you want it. So here if I do single click and drag it and then put it wherever you want it, okay, and you could put a different colors or something like that. So again, don't do double click, and even if you've done it, no problem, come back to and click on the main form, and you come back to the main form, just ignore the coding which is being made. So once I made here, now what I want is I want to have let's say I want to have 4 function here. Okay, adding, removing, searching. Okay, and do you want to put one more function, like say for example um, now just put let's go for 3 functions. Okay, let's go for 3 functions. Now in the toolbar, let me see if I have put some. Okay, in the email, gender, department, address, ID, and all this. Okay, this is fine. I mean, I was thinking to put a picture in this one, but anyhow, we can do it later also. That's not a problem. Okay, we can put a picture so that we like a picture should appear it, but that depend on time, how we get the time, and then we can do it. So let's do let's get some, like, the design. But before we get a design, I told you what function you want to put. So let me take a bold toolbox and let's bring up buttons. Okay, so let's make a nice button here. For example, let's click, come on the right hand side and change the, let's say 18. You can give a different button. Then on the text, let's say add student detail. Okay, so like one will come up here. Control C. If you want to give a different color, you can give a different color. Let's put it here. Okay, and this one single click. So this one is I'm going to just go the same thing. I add what I did, guys, what I did here, I click on this single time, Control C for copy and Control V for paste. So this will come up. Then I click single time here and I'll change the text as remove student details. And since this is already copied and is still in the memory, so you say Control V again, another one will come up, and then we will say this one as search. Okay, search student detail. Again copy another one. Let's give this as navigate. Search means they will show you one, and search. Let's do the last one as navigate. Okay, that's fine. And then the last one, again Control V, you get the last one. So let's say this one will be so this will be, let's say, I'll say as what, exit. So that, delete that and just write the word exit. So that should be and you can make it smaller. I mean, we don't have to make it like such. So basically this should be somehow the design. Okay, you can change the alignment. You don't have to make like a square. You can make a button like a square, rectangle. You understanding? Make your own designing. And so I have these 4 things. So what I want, this design, what I want, guys, is from the form 1, when they are successful, I want them to come back successful. I want to make them to come to this form. Okay, so once the form is success, yeah, okay, they're not only going to display, oh, login successful, but I want them to come up to this one. So how to link it? Okay, so if you have done till here, how to link it? So what you need to go to, so what is the name of the form? Just remember whatever name you have given. I have given the name as main_form. Okay, main_form. Don't give space to the name. Now go to the form 1, double click on submit. Okay, double click on submit, and when you come up here at this corner, guys, where you say login successful, after that send them to the main form. So how would you send them? Let me show you how to create send to the main form. First of all, in order to send to the main form, you need to create an object of the main form. So how would you do this? The moment you say main form, it'll show you. So I told you, never type like that. So main form, give any variable name. I'll say mf is equal to new main form. Okay, so when you say this word, and since there are more than one line under the if command, so you need to give us open a bracket, close a bracket. So make sure you open a bracket, close a bracket, and then give this. So what I'm saying is, so the message successful, and I gave a bracket here, close the bracket. I'm saying, let me create an object called mf of the main form. So a main form mf equal to new one form. So this is how you create an object. You can give any name here. And what I want is, I want to go to that form, isn't it? But what I want is, first this will be there. So I want to hide this, and then I want to send it to the main for the new one. So what we need to do is, so we will say this dot hide, this dot hide. When you say this, will come automatically here. So what does this dot hide meaning? That I'm saying the present form one which is running, hide that. Okay, I don't want to see that. And then the new object which I want them to come. Okay, you just made an object, but if you want to see that object, you say mf dot show. Okay, so show. The moment you say this, what will happen is, they will show you login successful. Press enter. When you press enter, okay, that form, login form, will be hidden, and they will show you the new form which you said mf.show. This is how you to bring a new form. So easy transition. So this will hide up and the new form will come up. You want to have a look? Let's start this one. So let's say start. Okay, I don't know what was the I stored in the ID and password. Let me go to the, you know what, let me go to the table, users, right click, show table data. I don't know what table data I kept it. Oh, admin icon 2, I send it. Okay, so you know, this is if you forget what you have stored in the table, you can go like in the table, right click, show table data, and they'll show you what table data here. If you haven't added the data, then you can come here and you can, let's say if I want to start add another data called alam and alam. So you say alam and alam, and then don't worry about the red color, first fill it up and press enter. So that line is added. So quickly is added. Okay, so come to the form, this one, let me run this one. So this is running, and I know that ID's password is alam and alam. So I'll give, if I give alam, or let's say something, and if I give it something, see, you know that is when you submit, invalid username password. But if I give it alam, okay, and alam, and say submit, login successful. Now see what happened. Once I say okay, it comes to this page, the new page which I made it. But now if I press anything, there's nothing will happen because we haven't done the coding for this. So today I'll just try to do on add student details. Okay, I'll try to do the start today, and then every day we'll go to another, and like that we'll complete the project. So now what I want from you guys, like if I say add student detail, it should go to another page where they will ask the detail about the students and they will add into the database. Okay, this is what I want. Now visually you can't see it, but we'll show you that how would you verify that is going inside the detail or not. Okay, so see, these are real life project, guys. Like, you know, when you work in a company, this is only thing you need to learn about the OOPS, but this is how you're going to make a project. Okay, it depends on just different designing how you want to do this. So let's close this, and what we need to do is let's make another form now. Why we are making another form? Because if I press this, I need to go to another form where they will ask me the student detail. So same thing, guys, come to the project, click here, right click, add new items, click on the form and give a name as add underscore student, whatever name you want to give it. I'm giving a meaningful name for myself to understand. So I'm saying add underscore student. Again, no space, guys. Okay, don't give space. Add underscore student. I gave it. You can give any name. Now you know what, I again need to design it. So to make the quick designing, you know what, to make a quick designing, go to the main form, you know this label, click single time, Control C, and come here and Control V. So like, you know what, you don't have to waste time like that. So let's say student has come up, and then this has already been copied. So when you can say Control V, another will come up here. So I put here, go and change here the text as ID. Okay, so there will be ID, Control V, then I'll put here, this one should be, go on the right hand side, change to as first name. This is all label. Okay, whatever you want, this is all label. Again Control V, because this is already copied. Okay, and if it doesn't come here, then again select here, say Control C and Control V. So let's put it here. um, okay, this one. So now this one I'm taking as last name. Okay, so I getting this. What else you want? You can see the detail: ID, first name, last name, gender, phone. Okay, just get less all of it. Control V. So if you want to put gender here, let's say if you want to put gender here, so put there. And where's the text box here? So when you come here, the text box, gender will be here. Okay, I'll push it a little bit here so that you can get some more space. Or let's say like this, gender. Another one, we bring it up here, and Control A, let's say phone number. Okay, so you can move it, watching the same line. So what we did so far, guys, I did ID, first name, last name, gender, phone number, date of birth, department, and email. Okay, so again paste here. So we say this one to be what, like, what do you want? Like, just make anything, whatever you know. So in the text column, come there and say email. Okay, so move it here a little bit. Okay, I done the email. Then what else? Like, I done the email. Oh, date of birth, address. So let's put a date of birth here. So Control V. Let's put this one to be date of birth. So go into the text column and say DOB. Okay, in short, or you can say, they will understand date of birth, so don't worry about that one. Control V. Let's put here, and then this one I'll delete it and say address. So I got another label as address. Okay, so all we are designing about the address and all those things. Okay, let's make it a little bigger. And what else we need? We done it. Address, we done it. Department. Now only thing which is left is department. That's it. We have done all of it here. So when you're having about the departments, let's say, okay, Control V again, because we have this label copied up, and then we can give here is, we look for this one, Control A, department, like which, like I like IT, computing, sorry, computing, health and social care, business, which department? So I'll get the department. Okay, so we got what exactly we wanted here. Okay, and now we want the input box, like how you want it. Now today we're going to learn different kind of input box, guys, here. Okay, so for example, ID. Okay, I think we should generate the ID ourselves. Like, okay, we can give them ID general, because depending on what card number you're giving up, we can generate. So what we do is to go to toolbox and look for the text box. Or best thing is, why to copy from there? Go for form 1. I remember form 1 has the text box. Why don't you copy from here? Control C. Okay, and bring your Control V. So just put a single click here, and you get the ID here. Now once you got the ID here, again Control V, you get the next text box. Okay, again Control V. See, so quick you can make it here. Again another this one. Okay, date of birth. I'll show you. We're going to put a different way. Phone number. Yes, phone number will come here. Control V again. Email will come up here. Okay, Control V again. Address will come here. Okay, but guys, for gender, for date of birth, for department, we're going to do in a different style. Okay, in a different style. We need a button. You can get a new button, or go to where you know the button. So take this one, Control C, take any button. Okay, click here single time, Control V, you got the button. So there will be one button here called exit. Okay, or we could put the button here, exit, and Control V again to get another button. And let's say, for example, you can make it a little bigger or how you want it, and just change this name as submit. Okay, so you can have a better buttons here, or let's say you can make it smaller also. We don't have any problem, so that you can make a sleek. Okay, how you want it. I mean, I don't know where the design looks good. I'm not good in so much designing. Now I'll say, what about these ones? Okay, we'll put, don't worry about it. Now you know what, like guys, in all this text box, the data will come, we'll take it and put into the database, right? We'll put into the database. So um, all this text box, when you click here, let's say I click here, what is the name? It's called text ID. Okay, because coming from previous part actually, it's called text box 1, text box 2. This should not have this kind of name, text box 1, text box 2. We should have a proper name like this. The first one is saying text ID. Why is showing text ID? Because you copied from that form. Okay, so anyhow, but it should have something like this, txt underscore and then the name. Okay, so if you don't have a name, like say when you click here, you look in the design, in the designing, no sorry, design, yeah, in the design you will see this name. So here you can change it and change the name. Now the first one, of course, it should be txt underscore id, so leave it, don't do anything. If it's not there, then change it to text underscore id. This one guys, for the first name one, this one, this would be txt underscore, it is a text box, so txt, and is related with first name, so I'll write first name. So this looks good, txt underscore first name. Then the last one is the same thing. I'll write the word txt underscore last name. I'll write the same thing, but I'll write txt first and then underscore. Don't give space, guys, okay, in the thing. This is phone number, so I'll click here, one single click. Okay, so txt underscore phone, then click on the next one. You're going to call as txt underscore email, and then this one do it, you can say txt underscore what, address. So I gave whatever the field are there, the same name I gave it, but I added txt underscore. What will happen with this one is like this text box, when we do programming, so at least this text box will appear during the programming as txt, so we can easily select, and like we don't have to type all this thing. Okay, so we gave all the name, very good enough. Now let's give the name of the button. So when you say this button, this is the habit we need to have. So when you click on the exit button, the button should always start with btn. Okay, this is a rule actually, button underscore, I'll write the word exit. Okay, don't use any capital name. So now this submit one, I will call this as btn underscore submit. This is the nice way of giving a name. Okay, done. All the component. Now you'll say, why did you give label name to the labels? I don't need it, because labels I'm not going to call in the programming, so I don't need to give a name, okay, to the labels. Now you'll say date of birth, why didn't you give it? Department, why didn't you give it? Because for date of birth, guys, I'm going to use another one which is called date time picker. So I'll pick the I think I was quick. If you go to toolbox called date time picker, this one, okay, date time picker, if you bring it here, the date time picker will come here. You can increase the length, but for the width, okay, you need to come on your right hand side and change the font size. So you can make it as 20 in order to have a, oh, why didn't it change? Again, single click. Okay, just I'll single click, don't do double click, guys. I'll go here and I will go and make it as 20. There you go. Okay, now departments also, I know there are 3 departments, so I won't ask them to type the department, because user will give wrong spelling of the departments. So I will give them like a drop down box where they can choose 3 department. Okay, so how can you do this? Toolbox, okay, and you go and say something called combo box, this one, combo box. So bring the combo box and make it bigger if you want it, and again you can change the width if you can, the width can be changed by the font, okay, like the combo box. Now the same combo box I want in the gender. Okay, so what I do is Control C, that combo box, Control V. Now don't get confused, this is not a text box, guys. Is a small arrow there. Can you see the small arrow? Okay, so when you click, they will pop up like a menu, and the user will select a menu. Okay, so well, good enough. Like this one is like, like you can shift a little bit like this to make it look good. Now it's looking good at least. Okay, now yeah, Now this one, the one which I added, I didn't give the name. So when you say date this one, when you click it, single click, okay, now go to name, design, so go to design, and don't give such a big name. Say DTP, that's called date time picker underscore DOB, meaning this is for date of birth, but this is called DTP, that is called date time picker underscore that one. Now for department, this is a combo box. So if it's a combo box, see saying combo box, write CB combo box, CB underscore department. Whatever the field name is, guys, give the exact name with underscore in small letters. Don't give capital again. If you give capital, you have to use in the programming, you have to use capital. This one is also combo box 2. I'll write CB underscore gender. Now noted what I'm giving it. All the names I'm giving small letters so that we know everything is small. Here this is all designing. That's why I kept whatever you wanted. So all the names I have given it here, guys. All the names. If you watch the videos nicely, okay, from back, all the videos, sorry, all the thing I've given it. Now what I want from here is once the user give these details, once they press submit, I want them to add it into the database. This is what our project we have to do first. Okay, this is what the first thing we need to do. And if I say exit, okay, it should go to this form. Okay, if I say exit, now note the point. What is the name of the form? Add student. Now one thing is missing, what, like that. Now from the main form, if I click this, I need to come to this form which I haven't linked it. Okay, which I haven't linked it. So let me link that one. You know what I mean to guys? When I click this one, add student, it should come this one. So double click on this button. Okay, let's do it. Double click on add student and see they prepare the code for you. So again saying, like, when you come on the main form, double click on this one. Okay, double click, so they will make a code for you. And on that one, I want them that if I click, what do you want them to do? I want them to come this one. I want them to bring the add student. So I showed you how to bring it, guys. First create an object. How? When you say add student, it'll come. See, let's give a name as AS. You can give any name, equal to new, and they will show you add student. So you created object. Okay, once you created an object, okay, why are they giving you, I mean, like red? Let me have a look. Add student is a type which is not valid. Add student, no, what's the name? Add student AS equal to this. Let me see what is saying. So potential fixes. No. Right click. 1 minute. What is the name of the file I have given it? One sec. Yeah, if you see on the right hand side, it's called add underscore student. Yes. So meaning when I come here, add underscore student AS is equal to new add underscore student is absolutely right. Let me write it again. Add student AS is equal to new add student. Okay, that's fine, but this is looking very silly, fishy to me, that this should not be like that. What is this giving you? That add student equal to new add student. Yes, that's right. Add student AS is equal to new student. Okay, you know, like, let me see if I say change the name AS1 if I take it. Okay, you know what the problem? Yes, they're mixing up with some word that mean. Okay, so meaning when you're giving AS, they're getting confused with some reserve word. So let's say I'll say as add student form ASF. You know, I make a meaningful term actually, ASF. You can give anything here. And what I want is, like, you say this dot hide. Now this dot hide meaning currently this which one? 1 minute. Currently this will be running, right? So when I press this, I want to go to the next form. So I want to hide this one. Okay, and we want to bring this form. So I'll say ASF dot show. Just remember that's logic. What do you want to do? So what I did is, when I user click this, I want the add student form to come up. So I double click and I told this to do it. So whatever is the name of the form, the new form, the add student form. See, my name of this, the name of the form is I gave in the very start as add student. So that what you need to write it here. If you go inside it, okay, meaning if you go inside, double click, and that is what you need to make an object of that. So exactly the same name has to be here. So make an object, and you say this dot hide and that asf dot show. So they'll show you the another form. Okay, so I have done the linking, but let's do some more thing. We're not going to check it now. So what happens is once you click on that one, guys, this form will come up. Now when it comes this form, what do you want them to do? I want them to do two things. Once they fill up and say submit, it should go into the database. And if they say exit, I want them to come to the main form. If they don't fill up and they say cancel, I want them to come to the next form, this one. Okay, we want to do like that. So let's do first, let's do this one, cancel. So when I say cancel, I want them to go to the main form. So how would you do that, guys? Very simple. Double click on exit. Okay, double click on exit. Think about it. Where do you want to go? Main form, right? Create an object of main form. So you say main underscore form. Let's say mf is equal to new main form. This is how we create object. And then say whoever is at that time ready, who's always running. So say this dot hide. And the new form, the one main form, the object which you created, you want to go there, isn't it? So you can say mf dot show. That's it. So you said mf dot show, meaning you go to that form. This is how easy it is to go back. Okay, it's how easy to go back. You got it what I mean to say, guys? Meaning what say, if I say exit, I want to go to the main form, this form. So what I did is I double click on this one, and I said, let me make an object of the main form, and whoever is running, hide that, and that mf dot show, it'll go to the new previous form. Okay, so this part is done. Now what I want to do is that as the data, I want to fill it up. Once the data is being filled up, I want them to when it says submit, I want them to go into the database automatically, which I'll go and check it that yeah, okay, the data is done. So let's do the programming on this, guys. So user will fill up this data, let them fill up and take time as much as they can, but the moment they say submit, I will take all this data and put it if they are all valid. Okay, if they all are valid. Okay, but now there are a lot thing to tell you, guys. In departments, okay, if in departments, I want them give a choice to, like what you can say, like whatever they type, they're not typing. If they click here, this arrow mean if they click, a pop, a drop down menu will come up where they will. I'll give them only 3 options. Okay, so you'll say, okay, how to give the option then? I will show you how to give the option. But before this, you know what? Just do a single click on this, single click, and go into the text area. In the text area, just write click here, so that at least user know that they have to click here. Okay, in this one also come there and just write in the text box call click here. Okay, so they know that they have to click meaning they're wanting. Okay, now let's interesting thing, date of birth is very easy. The whatever date of birth will come up will be picked up in the department. This one we need to click. Can you see, once you click here, single click, can you see this small arrow? When you click the arrow, guys, here say edit items, and here you give the choice what you want the choice. So let's say department, I will say okay, 3 departments strictly. Now note the spelling and everything: computing, business, and health. Simple. I'm not writing too much word, simple one word. I want this option, so that option got added. So when the user click, that 3 option will come up. Here also when you click here, guys, click on this one and say edit items, and here I will type male, female, okay, and let's say I'll prefer not to say. Rest is depend on the people, like whatever. So to make a equality here, so make male, female, prefer not to say. This is the 3 option I gave it. You know how I come coming again? I'm saying once you click here, single click, you click on the small arrow, say edit items, and this is how you need to give. Okay, so I gave the option. Brilliant. Okay, it will work nicely, guys, but now 1 minute. You want to have a look? Let me have a look so far what we did. When we start, the login page will start. I'll give admin an admin according to what I have put the data. But you say, come on, the password is visible. Password should not be visible. I will show you how to do it. In the properties, you need to go and change. Say submit, login successful, it comes here. Now when I click here, this one, nothing will happen because I haven't written the code, but we have written for this one. When you click here, it comes to the next one. Okay, when I click there, it comes to the next one. Now I told you when you say exit, you can go back. Can you see this? Again, when you see, it come back here. But we haven't done now submit. When you say submit, nothing will happen because now the main programming we have to write here. So far, so many things has to work right now. Okay, this much has to work. Close it. Let's do for the submit now, guys. Okay, now let's show you how to do the main submission. So that's a main point, guys, here. So what we need to do is, okay, can you go to the form 1, for example, the login form? Okay, and press F7 to go to the code view. Press F7 or double click submit. Okay, you had a string connection here. Can you see this one, this like this one? You had a string, or we can do it again, guys. There's no problem. Okay, 1 minute. Come to add student, double click on submit. Once they fill up and once they submit, I want them to put into the database. So double click on submit. Okay, come here and they make a code here. So once they say submit, you need to write a code how to submit. So first thing is what you need to do is you need to make a database connection. And how to do it? You say SQL, okay, connection, so they will show you, and if they don't show you, type it. Okay, if they don't show you, type it. I'll tell you. Okay, so see this is capital and this is capital. Okay, connection. Let's give the name as con. I always use, everybody uses this one, so let's keep this one same. New, but you can change the name. SQL connection. So first you need to make an object of the SQL connection. Okay, and in this one you need to give me the string, like what is the connection string of the database. And I showed you how to give the database, guys. What you do, give two code, and inside the code I will give the connection. And how to get the connection? Very easy. I'll repeat again. Go to the Server Explorer, click on whatever your database is. I gave the database name as my name, Amjad. So whatever your database shows you in Server Explorer, click on it. And once you come, can you see this connection string, guys, on your right hand side? Okay, just what you do is click on this data source, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then bring in the middle and say Control V. They will copy the string for you. But they will give you all these errors I told you last day. And if they shows you errors, what you do is just put at the rate in the front to say that this is a connection string, so avoid all the errors. So that's the way how to go. So you got the connection string ready, guys. This is the first thing you have to do in all the things whichever we want to do. Okay, we have to do all of it here. Okay, then what we need to do is once we got the connection, now we have to make a command. What command you want to run it? Okay, now, okay, one more thing, guys. If they give you errors, okay, if they give you errors and if the spelling is absolutely right, if you look the spelling and if it's right with small, capital, everything, when you put the mouse cursor, okay, or not mouse cursor, what you do is you come and add this line at the top. If they give you error, so at the top you come and type this line using system.data.sql client. Okay, you type this word. Once you type this one, the error will go off. And still if the error doesn't go, then check it nicely. Some typing mistake is definitely there. Okay, now once you make the connection, guys, we have to make a command. What command are you going to run it? How to run the command is like this: SQL command, the next line. So let's say command I'm calling as CMD is equal to new, okay, SQL command. Okay, so in this one we put a command. What command you want to run? So the best thing is I always tell you, make the command first separate in a string. So I'll say string, okay, what query you want to run. So I'll say query is equal to, we'll type the query here. Okay, I'll show you. I'll type the query and you say that query need to be run under the connection called con, meaning under this connection. So you have to tell the connection and you have to tell the query. So query is here, and here we'll type the query. Now what do you want to do, guys? What query you want to run? When I press submit, I want to take all this detail and put into the table, right? You want to add it. That is something called what, insert, right? It's called insert. The command in database is, if you don't know, no worry, I will show you. That's not a big deal in this one. Okay, so yes, so what you do is, where was it? I can double click here, submit, come back. Yeah, so the command is called insert. So I'll say insert into, what is your table name? The table name is students. Note the point, S, all in small letters. Okay, so exactly you have to give the same word. So I'll say the word students. So I'll say insert into students. Okay, and it has to be exact command, but like what I mean to say is like the command. What I mean to say, guys, let me show you the command first of all. Insert into students, and then you need to give the tables. What are the tables you want to insert? So look at the table again. Sorry, table mean field. Capital ID. This is capital ID, guys. Okay, then first name, last name, all in small letters. So write all these field name exactly here. Okay, like capital ID first of all. Then what? I'll say as first name, comma. It's going to be a long command because so many things we are filling it up. Last name. Okay, so insert into student space in a bracket. Note it is inside the within code here. Okay, and what else we have to do? First name, last name. You can give in any order, that's not a problem. Gender, phone number, any order. Gender, phone number, all is small, but it has to be exact, guys. Okay, phone number, date of birth, address. So date of birth, address, department, emails. Okay, so we can say department, email. Okay, so whatever is it, so I think it's like email. Okay, you can give in any order, that's not a problem, but it has to be the same spelling what you have given in the table. So we are saying, okay, insert into this table, and the field is this. You have learned in what, guys, what do you call, in database. Okay, and then you say the word values. Okay, and then open another bracket, and here we have to give the value. So for example, ID will come from where? ID will come from this box, which is called text.id. Okay, isn't it? First name will come from where? Text underscore first name, right? So but we can't type directly. If you type, you know what, if I say text.id.text, they'll give me error. You can't do it. There's a different way of giving it. It's not so easy. So what we need to tell them is, and you know, the command is becoming very bigger. Okay, if I put all the value, all the text box, there's a special way of giving it. No, we can write it. We can say text underscore ID, but actually it has to be done like this. I have to put a single quote, double quote, which I taught you last time, double quote, plus, and then end with plus, double quote, single quote, and like that I have to give it for all, and not text.id, text.id dot text. So like that I have to give for all the field, guys. Then after this I have to give comma, and then have to go on like that, which is really looking, you know what, complex. So what I'll say is, don't worry, okay, this is what you need to fill up, but the value is, you tell them, I'm going to tell them later. Okay, now you'll say, how do you going to tell them later? So you're going to say like this. For example, here you write what I want to say, yeah. So what I want to say, that I want to say like, okay, I want to tell that I want to say the value, but I can't say the value right now because the line is getting trouble. I want to define what to be inserted in the next line. Okay, I mean, this is the style I'm showing you. I mean, you can define them later. I mean, if you write all these things, the line will become very tough, guys, and it will become very complex. Okay, so what I'm going to tell them is like, see, I cannot tell you now, but I'm going to tell you later. So how can you tell them to do it later? Okay, so let's show you that process. So far, hope you are getting it, guys. Okay, I mean, it's like not, but I know this is going to take up time for you all. Meaning, you'll get a time for like for you to do, but take your time. I mean, take your time and complete it nicely in that one. Okay, so don't get panic with those things. Right. So, one minute. Give me one sec. I mean the value, you know what, I just value if I want to define it, because from the text box and all the thing will be a problem. So one minute, now my neck is paining like I'm continuously speaking up. Okay, one minute, but I still have to complete because the recording is going on. So I said these are the, remember guys, these are the field of tables, and you can give in any order, there's no problem. You can give in any order, it doesn't have to be in order like the tables one. But yes, once you have defined like this, whichever order, the values has to be in that order. That's very important. Okay, coming back here, I told you if I, instead of defining the values in a complex manner, I will say, you know what, I will tell you later. I will say I'll say I will tell you later. I'll tell you later in the sense, meaning you're going to say like this, say, okay, the value is at the rate ID. Now anything, now note the point. If you saying this ID, so don't match with that one. I'm just giving like or if you want to say like same, if you want to keep the same consistency, let's say, so you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to tell you the ID later by the name call at the rate ID. You're telling them later. That's the meaning behind it. Okay, and you can keep the same name as a spelling, but it's not the same thing. So you can say at first name at the thing. What does it mean? I'm saying that I will tell you the ID separately by the name call capital ID. But don't think that this one and this one is same. Okay, this is coming from the tables. These are the table fields. So I'm saying the value I will tell you, when you're telling the computer, I'm going to tell you the value by the name as ID. And how would you say that? At the rate, meaning that's the meaning at the rate. At the rate meaning you're going to tell them. At the rate first name, at the rate last name. I'm using the same thing so that like you don't get the best thing is like last name. I can copy this whole thing to make your life easier. I can paste it here after this one, and what I can just do is I'm just going to write the word at the rate. Okay, and see, it looks good. No semicolon, like not single quote, double quote, all that. But there's a little bit problem, like when you take some easy steps, of course there is something more to do. So I said that all these values I don't know right now, but I will supply you all these details by these letters at the rate ID, at the rate first name separately. Okay, so don't worry about it. So we gave them hope you can see this. 1 minute. So you see, like, whatever I gave it, whatever I gave it here, I use the same thing with at the rate to make our life easy tougher. Okay, so you saw this, everything is fine, and if this is a mistake in spelling, it's going to be disasters. So once you have done this one, so what you're going to do is, okay, you're going to say, okay, need to run this, but now you tell them what is this at the rate ID, what is at the rate first name, tell me the value. So the value now you can define separately to make our life easier, and you have to do this way, guys. Okay, meaning the command, this command which you're running it, you need to tell them that this command dot, okay, parameters dot add with value. So you're saying that this command has a parameter, meaning which I need to define it, and you add the value. Now you need to tell the value. Now see how to tell the value. What did you told them, guys? You told them that I will tell you the ID by this name, right? So you come here and within quote you write at the rate ID. Okay, and so you're saying, okay, like this one which I was supposed to tell you, this one is going to come from text box underscore ID dot text. Okay, so now you're saying that that ID at the rate, you need to replace it with text underscore ID dot text. Okay, so text underscore ID dot text. Okay, so what they will do when you run it, what they will do, they will replace this, they will replace this with the actual value. Okay, during the runtime. What advantage they're giving me? The advantage I'm giving it, like, if I would have written this one directly there, okay, we can't write directly this. We have to, I showed you, we have to write what? Single quote, double quote, plus, then this one, and then again plus, double quote, single quote. It becomes so complex that it will be very difficult to run it. So we're saying, okay, no, I can't define that way. Just this is the easiest way you can define it. And now you add all the parameters, guys. So it's going to be long. I'm going to, okay. So I will say the next one is at the rate first name. Okay, and you say this is going to come from where, you know what? You say from txt first name dot text, like this. Okay, and then like what the next one you're going to give is, like, go and give is just, so whatever you have said it, just go on saying this one. So this will you say like text, this will be coming from text underscore what. See, the moment you type text, all this will come up. This is the beauty. That's why I told you to give this kind of name. So last name dot what, text. Now what more is like last name, then next one will be, you can see from here is the same name given there. So you can say gender. This will be what, phone. You can give again in this in any order here. Phone, then you can say date of birth, and what else, like date of birth. Then we have put quite a lot of field, man. Address, then you can say department, okay, and email. So I'll say this gender will be coming from txt. Now gender, gender, I have a sorry, gender will not be coming from txt. Gender is coming from the combo box, right? CB. So if you write the word CB, it will show you that gender. So now you can say, okay, from that combo box, okay, I will say dot selected value. Okay, so whatever user select, I want that value. Okay, and make sure need to convert into string. Okay, so dot string, and you're going to give this one. So dot, when you say toString will come here like that. Okay, because selected value, I don't know what object will be there, so they might give you error, so you have to select into toString. Phone number, no problem. Phone number is again a text box, so you'll say text number, phone number. Okay, and then you can say text dot text. So done. Date of birth, guys, date of birth, remember what is that? Datetime is datetime picker, DTP. So you can say DTP, this one, dot. Okay, so you can say datetime dot value dot, okay, to string. So whatever the user will select the date of birth, you tell them to convert into string, and job is done. This is so how easy it is. Address is a text box. So when I say the word txt, it will show you in the text box address dot text. And departments is also what, like, department is what, drop down box, isn't it? So CB, so CB department dot, same selected value, and then dot to string. Okay, so don't type so much, like just say dot dot and it'll come up. Now email is the text box, so I'll say txt, look for the text dot email dot text. So see, now I know you have written so much things, but by this one you can't make errors. But if I would have defined the value directly there, definitely we'll get the errors. So this is like easy way of doing it. Okay, so this is a good way of doing it. And now once we told them to do this, guys, what we need to do is we need to open this connection and tell them to run this command. That's it. And if it's successful, it'll go into the database. If they don't get successful, they should give me some error. So what the best way I'll try to do is I'll try to use try catch throw. Try meaning I'll tell them that I'm telling them try, let's see, okay, try, okay, I'll tell them to do something, try, and say catch. Okay, I'll tell them to catch some exception if it doesn't run nicely. Okay, and then finally, whether is they manage to do successfully or they fail it. Okay, in both the cases, what do you want them to do it? So remember, try meaning they will try it. If they get successful, they will do this. If they fail, then they will do this. And finally, my meaning, in both the cases, whether it's successful or not, they will do this one finally. Okay, it is in all programming language. So what I just want, I told you what do I want, guys? I want this connection to open first. So I'll say connection dot open. Okay, done. Then what I do, connection is open, I want to run this command. Okay, if you want to run this command, to run the command, you're going to say the word summon dot execute none query. This one, execute none query. So run this command. Okay, and if this is successful, let's print a message box, guys, to show that it's successful. So we'll say message box, okay, dot show. Okay, and let you have to give a prompt like, okay, added successfully. And once the okay, this is, I will say this, okay, right? But if they fails to do it, so I'll tell them that mean catch the SQL exception. So SQL, look for SQL exception. SQL, yeah. So I'll say like, if you fail it, then catch what problem did you got in SQL exception, catch the exception, and here print control C, control V. In the message box, I'll say that you found error, okay, while adding in database, okay, and plus e dot, whatever error you got it, print the error. So you're saying error e and convert into string. Okay, so that error will go. But why they saying error is anything? This should not give me e. What? So we give ex then. Okay, they're not looking for, so I'll say ex here. Certain words, letters, you don't want to take it. Okay, so I told them print this one, and whether you got successful or whether you got error, what I just wanted finally, I want connection to close. This is very important. Okay, connection to close it. Now once you got the connection, guys, what I just want is I want them to return back to the main form, guys. Okay, if I want to return back to the main form, you need to write this one. Or let it be, what problem is there? Like, let it be at that point actually, because if you want to go back, you can say cancel. Okay, so this is what I just done, and so it's a little bit, but it's not much, guys. Yes, actually I can see that they are a little bit coding, but this is how to add into the game, and these are some real life project. Okay, so now let's run this and check it, how far we successful, guys. Okay, let's see. You'll take time, don't worry about it, but do slowly. Even if you take 5 hours, no problem in this one. So I will give this admin and admin, say submit successful. Okay, and this will come up. Naturally, if I say exit, it'll go back, which I've checked it. Now let's put ID here, guys. Okay, let's say put ID as A100. One more thing. What was the data type? You should know the data type. I think it was varchar. It was varchar. First name, let's say Amjad. Okay, and let's say Alam. Okay, date of birth. You see how to do it, guys. User will select this arrow, and the date of birth, they will go back. Okay, and whatever they selected, the date of birth will come up. Department, they will click here, and let's say computing. Gender, they click here, say male. Phone number, let them type anything. Email, let's say alam@yahoo.com. Okay, address, let's say Whitechapel. Okay, now once I give all this thing, let's see what happened. When I say submit, they gave me error, which is good. I like it, so that we can correct it. So they said object reference not set to an instance of an object. Okay, meaning to say that, like, that when you're trying to get the gender, this is not the right way of getting it. Fine, okay. So they didn't work for me, that's fine. So meaning this one, where's the word gender, isn't it? So this is not a right way. So what I'll say is, I'll say dot, what will be the right value? Selected item, selected value, they get a selected item in the combo box. Items, what is this one? Get an object. Okay, one sec, I'll check it. To get the selected value in combo box in C#. I think I'm right, but I don't know why they give an error. We have a look. So what this says here, selected car is equal to combo box selected to in selected item. Okay, what should be the easiest way? 1 minute, I'll check it. We can do it that one on selected out, or selected is integer selected, no, item selected index is equal to combo box, this one, that's right. And selected item combo box one that select is to string. We is okay, all this can be done for 1 minute. Selected item, if I say selected item dot, if I say selected, is there anything else like selected value? If I take selected value dot, what the problem is getting up, I converted to string, but they said no, they can't do that way. So okay, 1 minute. So let me think us, let me just pause a little bit. Right guys, I just found the solution quickly. The problem was, like I was saying, gbgender dot selected value I was taking it, so that was wrong. It should be selected item. So selected item, okay, and then toString. Okay, so toString, and that's it. The same thing I have to do for the department as well. So dot, we'll take a selected items, okay, and two strings. Okay, so that's the mistakes which was doing, and that's it. So once everything is fine, make sure not giving a straight bracket. Yeah, once everything is fine, so let's have a look and run this thing. So just change it to selected item, okay, in the both the thing. So when we run it here, so let's say admin and admin submit login successful. When we come here, say add student, let's say I'll give it like 100, first name, let's say Amjad, okay, Alam, you can select any date. And this department, you know, make sure you selected something. If you don't select it and say submit, it'll give you error. Okay, now you'll say, what if I don't select and if I give submit, can I stop the from errors? Yeah, we have to improve the code again, okay, which I'll tell you in the next videos. Quite the video is becoming very long. So let's say business, okay, and select all these things, one phone number, whatever, okay, whatever, okay. And when you say submit, see, added successfully. So easy. If everything goes good smoothly, it will do this one and say that's it. So once I say okay and you want to go back, then don't press again submit, it will again try to go back. So once you done, I think, you know what, after submitting successfully, I should go back automatically, you know, I should go automatically anyhow. So don't press submit again, it'll give you error. So say exit, and you come up here, then say exit. We can't have the exit, so we have to manually stop here. Okay, so you know what, after adding successfully, I think I should give, like, you know what, tell them to go to the main form. So main form mf is equal to new main form, this dot hide, and mf dot show. So you're telling them that, okay, you know, after adding successfully, don't tell them to wait, let them to go back. Okay, and oh yes, now so this will be good, you can check it. But now let me show you the data. Come to Server Explorer, in the students, right click and say show table data. When you say table data, you see the data has come up. Okay, A Amjad Alam, mail, this, whatever you gave it, exactly all the thing has come up. Okay, and this is how to add into the database, guys. Okay, so the code was, you saw the code. This is a roughly, this is what this is what the code is we given it here. Okay, and you want to see the side one, I can show you. The side one is exactly the same thing like what you gave it here, is the same thing. I use the same name with at the rate, okay, in order, and the same at the rate you have to give in within quote. Okay, and then finally job done in a brilliant way. Okay, so try this video, and anything errors, install AnyDesk and just let me know or connect it and I'll help you with this one. But if it takes time for you to do it, take time, no worry, take your time. Okay, but as long as you complete it, the other development process will be quicker. But these are real time project actually.